Welcome to today's video, guys. On Bullet's Garage, we're gonna change the oil on the Lexus GSF. All right, so as you guys know, changing your oil is a very simple and cost-effective thing that you could do at home by yourself and save money. My services at the dealer are up. I had 4 free services that came with the Lexus certification, and I took advantage of that, which included basically everything: the oil changes, air filters, it was all covered. But when I do look at the statement, the oil change itself costs over, I think it was $125 or so, because they use Mobile One synthetic, which I asked them to use synthetic, which costs more, and the filter is like $12, which is no big deal. The oil is what costs the most amount of money here. So buying your own oil and using your own oil is going to save you a lot of money in doing this job, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it so you can do the correct steps. So the car has been sitting for the past, 3-4 days because it was snowing and raining bad, so I didn't drive it. As you can see, I do have it on the battery tender here to save the battery, because these batteries are super weak. They only have 580 cold cranking amps, which is so low. But I'm going to check the oil. Since the car was sitting, all the oil should have, seeped down into the oil pan. So we're going to check a proper level here. Take the dipstick out, give it a good wipe for the first one, set it back in, and let's see what we got here. Right at the top mark. Let's see if I can focus in for you guys here. There you go. So it's slightly, it's right above that mark. Looks to be right there, but that is exactly where you need it to be. So the dealer did not overfill it the last time they did this, which is great. But my only complaint about this dipstick is so hard to freaking read sometimes. My Golf and the Honda have like an orange connection tip right here with like hash marks, so the oil kind of sticks in those hash mark grooves, so it's so easy to tell where the oil line is. So we're okay here, but I'm going to try and see if we could get an aftermarket dipstick in here. So with that being said, the oil level is good, so we can't just jack the car up now and change the oil. The oil, even though it's a lightweight oil, 5W30, it's going to be very thick in this cold temperature. What you want to do, take the car off for a nice 10-15 minute drive, heat up that oil, so when you drain it, it's going to come out a lot quicker and a lot more is going to come out. So let's get a cold start with the Joe Z exhaust and go for a drive. Alright, so the car is fully warmed up. I found a nice forest preserve. Give you a few revs for you guys. Enjoy. Whew! Freaking love how this thing sounds. So in love with it. Alright, we have made it home. I fired up the propane heater and gonna go change into some warmer clothes, let the garage heat up, and we're gonna get started on this oil change. So if you guys are interested in this heater, I have the link in the description for the heater and the propane tank, so go check it out. It is highly recommended. It heats up the garage in about 10 minutes to perfect working conditions, not too cold, not too hot, so check it out. All right, perfect working conditions, 55 degrees, feels actually way warmer in here. But let's talk about the oil that we're gonna use. So I am using Penzoil Platinum, full synthetic 5W30. I got an original Lexus oil filter, part number 45152-51010. And of course I got the crush washer, comes with the O-ring. Figured might as well get an original filter. These are $12.99 or something from the dealership. As you know, the dealer uses Mobil 1. Personally, I am not a fan of Mobil 1. I've done my research, and Mobil 1 burns at a higher PSI level. It's been tested, so when it heats up and it's at under high load, it burns off. Penzoil Platinum has been tested to be way more durable at higher PSIs. I will put the link to the comprehensive oil test below so you could read through it all and figure out which oil you want. From what I read, the best oil is Penzoil. That is hands down the best durability testing, but for the price you get, Penzoil Platinum, I can't go wrong. And I'm going to shorten my oil change interval from 5,000 to about 3,500 since it is so cheap to replace. Each one of these jugs I get from Walmart, which was $22 each, so that's $44. Filter was, I think, $11.99. Little washer was $1. So you do the math, that's under $60, and you get 10 quarts of oil, original filter, and you could do it yourself. So I drove the car up on 2x4s to give me a little bit of clearance to get the jacks under. Let's go ahead and jack the car up and start draining some oil. So I always like to just open the oil cap so the oil flows out better. And I also pull the dipstick to give some ventilation. All right, now that you're underneath the car, there are three 10mm bolts right here. This, inside of this is where the oil filter is. Okay, if you follow back to right here, this is the oil drain plug. So filter housing, drain plug. Let's go ahead and loosen this bolt and drain the oil. All right, so I'm going to use a 9/16, which fits pretty dang well. It's probably, I want to say, a 14 or a 13 mil, but this, I don't want to get out of here under the car and get the correct socket. This is perfectly tight enough. So what I like to do is just crack it loose, get rid of the socket, and with my hands, and this is going to be messy and it's going to shoot out this way, so make sure you have this back here really quickly. Boom, there we go. Nice and easy. So I am going to let this bad boy drain. And looking at the oil, it is not too bad. I mean, it's dark, but I mean, I could see through it pretty well. So pretty good. Let's get it drained out and see how much comes out. And as you could see in my hand, the washer came off. Make sure it comes off and doesn't get stuck here. So you double gasket it and then it's gonna leak. So make sure this gasket comes off and you have it. While we are waiting for the oil to drain, let's go ahead and take these off. And which will reveal the oil filter housing, which is up in here. There it is right there. So let me see what kind of tool I have to break this loose, but we'll go from there. Houston, we have a small problem. The only tool that I had broke because this thing is on so tight. So I am probably gonna have to go to the store and get the metal cup that sits over this that the socket goes onto, because I was not able to get it off with my wonky little tool here, so that sucks. It's times like these that I am so happy to have the winter beater Honda Accord, so I could go to the AutoZone down the street and pick up the filter, because otherwise what would I be doing? Walking there, taking a bus, my scooter, bicycle. So thank you for my wife for not selling this car when she got her SUV and I got rid of my GTI. And this is the new winter beater, which is way better than my GTI, let me tell you. But hopefully the store has the correct metal sized, you know, oil filter wrench tool thingies. So let's see in the store. All right, local AutoZone to the rescue. Let's hope. I mean, this is a Toyota, so it's not like a German part that's gonna be hard to find. So we should be good. AutoZone to the rescue. So they had a specific wrench for Toyota, so this should fit. I measured it. It came out to 64 millimeters, just what the housing on the car fit. And then I got these for the Honda and when I do other oil changes, so it's easier to just grab the filter, squeeze it with the pliers, and then get it off. So let's get back home. All right, guys, we have made it back, and moment of truth. Just looking at it, it looks a little too small, but let's see. Bam, perfect fit. Perfect, awesome. All right, the oil has stopped draining, so I'm going to lock that up and get the drain bucket under the oil filter, and we'll break this sucker loose. All righty, let's break this sucker loose. Ooh, it is on there pretty tight. All right, instead of just yanking on it, I'm gonna hit it with a hammer so we could hopefully just break it loose. There we go. All right, let me get the drain bucket under this so we don't create a huge mess. And you could feel as I'm undoing it, the gasket, the O-ring that's in there is holding it pretty tight. All right, let me take this off. Just let that slowly drain out. Still quite a bit of oil in there. All right, guys, so here we are top side. So we're gonna get rid of this O-ring here because we are not gonna reuse this. All right, we are provided with a brand new one, which I have right over here. And this will ensure that you don't have any leaks. So what I'm gonna do is run my finger and get some of this oil and put it on the O-ring here. So it has some lubrication, so it's not dry. And then we'll work it down into its new home. Just like that, all the way around, it's in. And what I like to do is lift up the old filter and put it straight into the container. Everything looks pretty good in there. We're gonna pop the new one in. That's it, kind of seats in there. And we could go ahead and reinstall this back on the car. All right, so now that most of the oil has stopped dripping out, I am going to reinstall this oil filter. Sorry if I'm blocking your view here. And I like to spin counterclockwise before I go clockwise, just to ensure that we're not cross-threading anything, and it's going in smooth as butter by hand. And then once you get some tension, because the O-ring catches, you could put your socket on and go the rest of the way. And the cool thing that I saw is that there's markings as to where it should be fully tightened. So let me show you guys this. You see those two marks right there? That was there before. So I just have to tap it a little tighter so those align, and that's how you know it's perfectly tight and not over torqued or anything like that. So let's see how far I could get it by hand. I mean, I think that is golden right there. So the marks are perfectly aligned. Let me show you. As you can see, perfectly aligned, so we're good. Gonna clean this up, take off the filter tool, and put this cover back on. We'll go topside. All right, now that we are safely down on the ground with the car, everything is tight underneath, we could start filling this bad boy up. So I have a funnel, so I don't make a gigantic mess. And we're gonna put this one jug in, and then we're gonna put the other one in. This baby, this big 5-liter V8 takes a lot of oil, which is good. Oil is inexpensive for the most part, but it keeps the engine running strong and lubricates all the rods and the bearings. So fresh oil is a great thing. Okay, so the car takes 9.3 quarts. So I put in 5 quarts already. Let me see. So I'm gonna put in about 9 quarts, start the car up, let it run, and then measure. Drink up, puppy, drink up that good oil. There you go, smooth flow. Chug away. Let's see what we got. Still I need another half a quart. All right, that's a little bit under 9 quarts that I put in. We are gonna start the car up and check it out. So make sure you close the filler cap, put your dipstick back in before you start the car. All right, let's give her a quick fire up, let her run for about a minute to circulate all the oil. And I put about, let me see here, almost 4,000 miles on the oil, and I'm gonna be storing it soon, so why not? 4,000 miles is plenty. Let's get this. Ooh, 21,600 miles on the car. My baby's growing. Anyway, let's get her started up. All right. So we'll let it run. Love how it sounds. Alrighty. So we let it run for about a minute. I'm gonna let it sit for about 2-3 minutes so all that oil settles again, and then we'll do a couple checks and see where we're at. So after checking a few times, you could see where the oil level is at. Sorry about my shakiness. So we are basically right there in the middle. I'm gonna add a little bit more so I could be right underneath the top mark. All right, so it's not the easiest to see, but we are right above the halfway point and below the full mark. So I'm confident leaving it there. So that's gonna be it. I could, I could fill it up a little bit more. I'm sorry, this is 1, so this is 9.5. 9.5 is here. Okay, so this is 9 quarts here. This is 9.5, so we are right above that. So that's pretty much 9.3-ish. So we're good with that. The car is done. Everything is finished. I am super pleased with the outcome. Big mess trying to pour the old oil into the containers to get recycled, but finished. Easy breezy. Do it at home oil change for what, 60 bucks, depending on the oil you use, and you're Gucci. So if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe below for more videos to come, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.